Hello friends, I am Dr. Mohinder Kumar. I am PhD, MPhil, NET Set qualified. So on the demands of the students, I am going to start a series of my lectures on different books and different writers belonging to English literature. Today in this video, I am going to talk about a very famous book of William Empson, and that is Seven Types of Ambiguity. So I will discuss this book in detail. I will talk about the 7 types of ambiguity discussed by William Empson in this book. So first of all, you must know something about William Empson. That who is William Empson? Actually, William Empson is a world-renowned English literary critic belonging to the modern age. He was the student of a very famous literary critic, I.A. Richards. So his writings, his early writings greatly influenced a movement in criticism, and that is new criticism. His writings greatly influenced this movement which started in America. So in my next lecture, I will talk about in detail about various books of William Empson, but in today's lecture I am going to focus only on one book, and name of that book is 7 Types of Ambiguity. It's a very important book, and normally it's very difficult to understand this book because the different types of ambiguities, they are explained in a very technical way. So 7 types of ambiguity, first important question, and the second important question is that when was it published? You must remember this book was published in 1930. The date is very important. This question has been raised in various NET, SET and different other exams. So mostly the question is raised, who wrote the book 7 Types of Ambiguity? So you must remember this book has been written by William Empson. I have just told you. And second very important question is, when was it published? So it was published in 1930. So first of all, before we discuss the various types of ambiguity, you must be clear that what is ambiguity. So ambiguity, it's a very simple. What's the meaning of ambiguity? Ambiguity means having more than one indeterminate meaning. When we have more than one indeterminate meaning, indeterminate means where we are not sure what is the meaning of that word, that is called ambiguity. I am going to clear this concept ambiguity with one example. The example you must have heard in English literature again and again. It's a very simple example. For example, if I say life depends upon liver, I am going to write that example on the whiteboard. If I write life depends upon liver, so where is the ambiguity? Actually this sentence is ambiguous. Where is the ambiguity? Ambiguity is in this word liver. What's the meaning of liver? It's not clear from this sentence. This word has more than one indeterminate meaning. Now we can interpret this sentence in 2 ways. First, we can take liver as an organ in our body. So what will be the sentence? Life depends upon the organ liver. This is the one sentence, one meaning. And what will be the next meaning? Life depends upon the liver. And who is the liver? One who lives the life. So this liver has 2 meanings. 2 indeterminate meaning. 2 uncertain meanings. So that is called ambiguity. So I think it's clear. So what's the ambiguity? when a word has more than one indeterminate meaning, so that word is called ambiguous, and that sentence is called ambiguous sentence. Now we are going to discuss, after getting to know what's the meaning of ambiguity, we are going to discuss 7 types of ambiguity. So according to William Empson, the first type of ambiguity in English literature, in every literature, or in real life is metaphor. So metaphor is the first type of ambiguity. Now what is metaphor? I think you are fully familiar with this word. Metaphor means an indirect comparison between two different things for one common quality. Or metaphor is also known as compressed simile. Why it is called compressed simile? Because when we explain it, so it takes the form of a simile. Simile, a natural or direct comparison between two different objects for one common quality. I am going to clear the concept of metaphor with one example. For example, if I say Ram is a lion, if I give the example Ram is a lion, if I give this example, so it's a wonderful example of metaphor. How? Because there is an indirect comparison. There is an indirect comparison between Ram, one different thing, and the second different thing is lion. There are two different things. And what's the meaning of that one? If I explain that one, Ram is a lion. So Ram is not a lion. He doesn't have the face of the lion. So what's the meaning of this sentence? It means Ram is brave like a lion. So when we explain this sentence, so it has taken the form of a simile, because in simile we use such words such as like and as. So according to William Empson, the first type of ambiguity in real life or in literature is metaphor. So this is a wonderful example of a metaphor. Another example you can take, that news was a dagger for him. So dagger, as dagger is painful, similarly the news was painful. This is the first type of ambiguity. Coming to the second type of ambiguity. First is metaphor, you must remember. Second type of ambiguity is, that is opposite making a new idea. Making a new idea. Making a new idea or creating a new idea, producing a new idea. This is the second type of ambiguity. Sometimes we have the opposite and they create a new idea. I will clear with one example. I am going to write 2 lines here, and those 2 lines will clear this concept and second type of ambiguity. For example, swiftly years pass beyond recall. Second is solemn stillness of this spring morning. If you look this sentence very carefully, so there are 2 opposite ones. One is swiftly, one is second is the stillness. Swiftly means fast. Stillness means slow or slowly. So the time in both these lines, there is a reference about time. And there are 2 ways the time passes. One is time passed very fast, and the second is time passed very slowly. For example, when we are studying, so we don't come to know that 1 hour, 2 hours have passed. So time passes very fast. But when we are sitting alone, so then it's very difficult to pass time. So that's the second type of ambiguity, opposites making a new idea, producing a new idea. So that is a wonderful example. Come to the third type of ambiguity according to William Empson in 7 types of ambiguity. Third types of ambiguity is pun. Pun, I think you already familiar with this figure of speech. Pun means when a word has more than one meaning, that is called pun. The example I gave you early in the lecture, and that example was life depends upon liver. So in that example, liver had more than one meaning. So there was pun. There's another wonderful example of pun. For example, a leopard does not change its spot. So it is another example of a pun. Here spot has two meanings. One, you can say that blocks on its body, and second, spot means place. A leopard doesn't change its place, the living place where it lives, and the second is it doesn't change its spot on the body. So there is pun. So that's the third type of ambiguity. Come to the fourth type of ambiguity. Fourth type of ambiguity is also known as Freudian slip. Sigmund Freud, you must have heard. So from that it has come Freudian slip, or words producing what? An abstract thought. Words producing an abstract thought. It happens in our real life. Sometimes when we listen something, so another thought is created in our mind. I want to give you example. For example, one boy is lying on the grass. His friend comes. He asks, "Hello friends, what are you doing?" And he replies, "I'm lying for the time being. I'm lying for the time being." So what's the meaning of this sentence? I'm lying for the time being. It may have two meanings. This sentence may create another thought in the listener mind. Lying has two meanings. One, that he is telling lies to his friend. And what's the another meaning of lying is that he is lying on the grass. Lie means letna. That also means. So here in this sentence, I'm lying for the time being. Here lying has more than one indeterminate meaning. What's the meaning of lying here? Whether the friend is telling lies to his another friend, or whether that friend is lying on the grass. So there are two indeterminate meaning. Come to our fifth type of ambiguity. I have cleared this with example. And fifth type of ambiguity is called unfortunate confusion. Actually, our mind is very complex, and sometimes we think that we can't expect, or we can define it: words producing what? A concrete thought. A concrete thought. Words producing a concrete thought. I will give you one example. For example, the same example we take the previous example. Okay. Now, the friend was lying on the grass and he tells his friends, "I'm lying on the grass." Now, the friend may interpret it in another way also. Now, seeing his friend lying on the grass and seeing his position, his posture, he may think that my friend is lying like a dog on the grass. My friend is lying like a snake on the grass. So the dog, the snake, that idea is created. And it happens in our real life. Sometimes our friend, our sister, our brother is lying on the sofa or on the bed, and then the picture creates in us that he is lying a what? A dog, and that one. So that is a fifth type of ambiguity. Come to the sixth type of ambiguity. Sixth type of ambiguity is called fill it in. What's the meaning of fill it in? There are sometimes half sentences, incomplete sentences, and then we are expected to complete it. For example, if I talk about, if I am teaching I.A. Richards, so then I say at the end of Richards, okay, I.A. Richards is over, pura ho gaya. Now, what is the meaning of pura ho gaya? It has a two meaning. One, that I.A. Richards is completed, and second, I.A. Richards has died. And similarly, we say, what's up? That's a nowadays, what's up? What's up is fill it up. We are required to complete the sentence. Similarly, what are you doing? This is such type of sentences are 6 type of. And come to the 7th and the last type of ambiguity, and that is called tension too big to tame. That is according to, but according to me, I will explain in a simple way, and that is called binary opposition. In my way or in a simple way, binary opposition. What's the meaning of binary opposition? Sometimes we think one thing, the second immediately comes. For example, if we think about male, immediately the idea female comes. Day, night. And big, small. So that is called 7 type of ambiguity, binary opposition. So one thing is associated with another thing and it immediately comes in our mind. So these are 7 types of ambiguity. I hope that you will like my lecture. If you like my lecture, then subscribe my channel so that you may get such videos in future, and share my videos with your friends also. Thanks.